Tillamook County over the last 20 years really evolved on its own. You know, it's gone from a very agricultural-based community to a tourism community. At this point, you know, people are coming here, they see the outdoor recreational assets that we have, surfing, hiking, some of the just most beautiful sunsets on the planet. And so we already have that culture of, you know, being built here, and people are recognizing that this place is truly magical. You know, I feel that mountain biking will bring another dynamic to that. I always tell my surfing friends, you know, there's going to be trails here, and when there are, you know, the trails are always 5 foot and glassy.
Josh, as a person, is driven. He is open. He is sharing. He is enthusiastic beyond anybody that I have ever met about mountain biking and sharing it with people, and it's completely infectious.
Josh is a self-made man. Having him getting into trail building, I knew who he is. He owns a very successful landscaping company, which he literally started out of a wheelbarrow and some hand tools.
A lot of hard work, good timing, dumb luck. You know, the Bros and Hoes landscaping was developed. My brother and I, and Erica, my wife, started that about 21 years ago. About 10 years into the business really started ramping up. With that, you know, came a lot of stress. In that time, I gained about 70, 80 pounds, had anxiety, a lot of stress, heart murmurs. Even though things were growing and the business was very successful, me personally, I felt as though I needed to find an outlet.
At that point, Josh hadn't been riding mountain bikes, I think, for a few years.
Uncle Dino called me up and said, hey, you know, years ago, you know, you were into mountain biking and you kind of gave it up when you hated wearing spandex and clipped-in shoes. You might want to come check this out. You know, the sport has really changed.
When I started getting involved out at Black Rock, I knew it might be something he'd be interested in, and encouraged him to get back into the sport. And
went out to Black Rock Trail Association with Dino and said, okay, are you ready to drop in behind me? And in my mind, I was like, I'm not letting this old man like lose me on this trail. I will certainly keep up with him. He dropped in, I went in behind him. I remember going around the first berm, and there was this little wedge. It was probably about 1.5 feet tall. Didn't know what to do. Hit it, went OTB, yard sailed, everything went everywhere. I sat up and I took a deep breath and just kind of looked around. You know, here I am, 80 pounds overweight, sweating, but I felt alive. It was one of those moments where I was just like, this is for me. That was what got me into mountain biking, is that moment of just appreciating the outdoors. There was certainly something healthy there that I knew I was needing. Yay, I think we did her.
I mean, you get out here and everybody gets to have fun. And that's why we do it. And it's not just the riding. It's that sense of family that you have here that's really the attracting factor.
So my wife, Erica, she is the glue to this whole experience. Without her support from day one, none of this would have happened.
It just sort of, I think, very organically happened. And it was always so funny. Anytime he'd invite pro guys out to ride, they'd all be like, yeah, sure, we'd love to stop by, but we have someplace we really need to be, so we can only be there for an hour. And Josh is like, that's cool, like whatever you want. And I'd go shuttle them and drop them off. And as we got further and further and further, they'd be like, whoa, like, how far are we going? And then they get to the bottom and like, yeah, I think that meeting got canceled. Maybe we'll stay for dinner. Is it cool if we spend the night? All of a sudden they're here for 2 or 3 days. It's great.
When people come to this area, they may have been connected through me. When they leave this area, they're like, yeah, Josh was fun, but we are pals with Erica.
They all seem to like my food, so I kept cooking.
They have completely not only opened their doors to me, but I have seen over the years how they have opened their doors to everybody.
that we certainly saw was missing in this area was the mountain bike community. So Erica, myself, and a good friend, Marty Weishart, co-founded TORTA, which is Tillamook Off-Road Trail Alliance. What we thought might be a year or two process to get us up and rolling and get trails here on the coast, it's turned into a 4.5-year passion project. We've kind of just had to learn to be patient, knowing that, the bigger picture is, really the more important part of this. It's something that I want the community to have. I mean, we have 30 miles of trail that's planned to be here that we are now hoping to start digging within the next 3 months. We will have a mountain bike mecca here in Pacific City.